I'm Roger Vanek with Roger's Outdoor Channel. Today we're going to take a one-day driving trip, one of my more favorite trips through central part of Washington State. And I'm going to give you some of the highlights that I've enjoyed over the years. And what I'd like you to do, if you get into this driving trip or Sunday drive type mindset that I'm trying to encourage, is that you kind of pick a few of the highlights of my trip and say, gee, that sounds fun. Let's make a point of stopping and doing this, and break your trip up so that it's not just jump in the car and drive and get to all these places. You actually get out of the car and go enjoy this site or this little sidebar trip that I've talked about. Because there's plenty of interesting places in the state that you just will really enjoy. I mean, they're unique onto Washington State. They're unique around the country, really, and good scenery, good history to a lot of this stuff. So today, again, it's going to be I'm going to cover the central part of the state. I'll have, in addition to me just giving you this verbal narrative of doing the drive, attached to or linked to this video is going to be a written, little written document along with a map that will say, drive here, do this, here's a couple sites that you might consider stopping at and doing. And so anyway, starting from my place, in the Seattle, Mercer Island area, I typically just jump right on Interstate 90 and say it's time for a good Sunday drive and start heading east. And I go up over Snoqualmie Pass, and as soon as I hit the top of the pass, it's kind of like a weight has lifted from my shoulders. It's kind of like, oh, I'm on vacation today. I'm going to have fun, and that's happened to me just year after year and trip after trip. There's a certain freedom to the wide open spaces of eastern Washington that I just really enjoy it. So when I go over the pass, you see Lake Ketchelis on your right, and you go past a lot of familiar with scenery to me, exit 80s where I pick a lot of mushrooms, and you turn off to Roslyn and Suncadia. Exit 84 is where the Cle Elum exit is. But then right after you pass the city of Cle Elum is exit 85, which is the highway to Blewett Pass. And so I turn and I head north on exit 85 towards Blewett Pass. I'll go about 15-20 miles, and I'll look, well, actually even before I go that far, I'll go about 5 miles, and I'll come to where the Teanaway River crosses, and that's one of my favorite haunts. I usually take the exit to the left at the Teanaway River, drive maybe about 5 miles back there, and I do everything from look at wildflowers, hunt grouse, pick mushrooms. It's just one of my favorite hangouts there. I'll check out the Yakima tribe has a little fish hatchery there that I hang out at. Just a lot of things for me to do in the outdoors there. I continue on beyond that for about another 7-8 miles, and I'll come to where a cutoff to a little town of Liberty is off to the right. And as soon as you get to that exit, you look off and you'll see literally actually people doing gold mining right there in that little stream next to that cutoff to the town. And so if you take the cutoff and you go to town, they've got a little gallery or little stores there that have some of the memorabilia that the gold miners, gold mining in the area has made happen, basically. And then you go to the top of the pass. You'll pass little restaurants along the way and turnoffs, and the area all through there is good morel mushrooms in the spring. As I go over the top of the pass, you continue on for about another 15 miles, and you'll come to where the road kind of comes to a T at Highway 2. and if you take Highway 2 to the left, you go to a neat little Bavarian town called Leavenworth. A fun place to visit, especially at Christmas time. They just really deck that town out something else. I mean, they, the decorations are just unique and very European, Bavarian style. Or today we're going to just turn to the right and head towards Wenatchee. We've got favorite little spots. You'll go past Mission Ridge ski area, go through the town. Fun older type town with a newer section at the north end of town. You'll drive by a lot of orchards. It's a real big orchard, apple and cherry place for many miles along the the Wenatchee River, as well as you'll come to where the cutoff to the other rivers cut through there as well. Anyway, you continue going past Wenatchee. I usually take there's a cutoff that we can take to do some wildflowers up in the trying to think of the name of the little stream that we go by, but anyway, it'll be in my notes. You just check my notes as far as some of the little detours that you come to. Go a little further, you'll cross the Columbia River. As soon as you do, there's a little turnoff to Crescent Bar to the right. I enjoy that. I followed it for 30 years, ever since they developed the bar, put a golf course or two in it, and had a lot of ground lease lots that they had, and I kind of followed the development of that lot. If you go a few more miles further past that, you'll come to the town of Quincy. And Quincy's where, like, Microsoft and a couple of the other big computer companies have built massive computer complexes where they do a lot of their cloud work, because they can get very inexpensive energy there to help cool the computers from the using the hydroelectric power that's available over there. Continue on from there. We usually try to make it a one-day trip, and we'll continue on to Moses Lake. We like to stop at a little Mexican restaurant there called El Rodeo, or Rodeo, I guess it is, and we usually get some Mexican dishes to go, and just drive a couple blocks over to Moses Lake itself, and there's usually picnic tables sitting around there, and we'll take our to-go dinner and relax a little bit, eat our dinner right next to the lake shore, watch the ducks and the geese and people fishing for walleye in the lake, puttering on by. Jump back in the car, start heading back towards Seattle. We'll drive, and when we get to Interstate 90, it's Moses Lake is practically on Interstate 90. Well, actually, while we're still there, we almost bought a place in Moses Lake that had where a guy took and built some canals, developed canals and put some made waterfront lots on these canals. And you could have bought them 10 years ago for like $50,000, and I thought, gee, I ought to buy one of those. And 2 years later, they were $200,000, and I says, I really should have bought one of those. But anyway, that's easy come, easy go, I guess. So we kept going along Interstate 90, and you'll notice that there's crop names on the fence lines right along the freeway. Some of the farmers have put the names of the crops that they're growing on the fences. And during the winter time, they actually take the big irrigation circles that they have, and they pull them up near the freeway and use the electricity that's in those circles to make really cool Christmas decorations. They have moving parts to them, Santa Claus taking off into the sky, rockets, and all kinds of things. It just, the farmers there really make it for an interesting drive, I guess. So, and then we just keep puttering on home. We'll usually stop in Ellensburg, at the exit 109, I think it is, and just immediately next to the freeway, there's an ice cream place. You can get a really cool ice cream cone for $1. And so we we figure that, you know, we always got to get one of those. We need the energy just to get it through the pass and back home. So anyway, plan some of those stops and trips, you know, or, you know, those little stopovers in your trip. You'll come home a lot more relaxed if you don't, you know, push too hard. You know, you'll kind of have that taste of ice cream with you, and you'll say, "This was a fun trip." You know, I like that ice cream cone. They got good ice cream over there, and so the whole trip will probably less than 400 miles. You can probably make it in 7 or 8 hours, even with a few stops. So, and there's just fun things to see. I mean, it's jumping in the car and seeing some of these places, see what the gold miners are doing and all of that. There's right at the top of Blewett Pass is also a great place to look for the Ellensburg blue agates. Up there is another thing that we do. So anyway, that's your trip for today. I hope you enjoy it, and give me some feedback. And if you see me driving on along the highway when you're out there, don't forget to wave.